What's going on, guys? Happy 2026. It is upon us. We are in the new year. Of course, you know what time it is. It's day 0. Day 218. First one of the new year. Of course, we've got the entire crew with us. Powerful one, spiritual one, immaculate one, me, X Cube, the one. Guys, Christmas. All right, I've seen Cory since Christmas. Was it good for Lindsey and Charlie? Christmas was good?
Christmas can't be bad. Christmas is the best time of year. I love it.
Hey,
Great.
hey, so
There's
I don't
lights,
know.
there's hot
Sometimes,
cocoa, there's presents. Like people are
It don't get better than
dicks,
Christmas.
but
Like
yeah,
I said it
Christmas
before,
is-
I don't give a fuck if Coca-Cola created Santa Claus. I love it. All right.
Yep.
So there you go.
Amen. All hail Christmas.
there we go. Charlie, was yours go well?
My Christmas was good, you know. I have a kid, a 14-year-old who cares about, getting stuff. So that has made Christmas fun again for me after you get to be, in your 30s and you're like, I don't really care too much about, I mean, I was one who was just I just could not put the effort in to decorate my house and things like that in the past. But then once you got a kid, then it's a totally different story. So that keeps me interested. And we watched we incorporated in a new Christmas movie. I don't know if this one's going to last. I don't think it's going to be in the rotation, but it was a Christmas movie, Die Hard.
Okay,
And we watched Die Hard. And I got, so you got to make sure that the kid watches the classics.
Yeah.
So she's
Gotta
seen Die
educate.
Hard now, which is good. And then New Year's Eve, did something I've never done before. I did
Crack?
I went to Atlanta
That would have been
for
the right choice.
well, I was in Atlanta. I could have gotten it had I wanted to do crack. No, maybe something more expensive. I went to a wedding.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
Not as fun
You've
as
been to weddings
crack.
New Year's
before,
Eve wedding.
but never in Atlanta.
On
Yeah,
New
but
Year's
not
Eve.
in Atlanta. So I
Yeah.
mean, that's a little bit different. Oh, New Year's Eve. Oh, they had their
Yeah.
wedding on New
Otherwise,
Year's Eve.
I
That's
wouldn't
just
have
wild.
done. It was on New Year's Eve. It was on New Year's Eve was the wedding. I mean, and then I was traveling New Year's Day. Oh, I set the record. I have a new personal best in
Okay.
how long it took me into the year before I had a full-blown screaming argument with the TSA. 5 hours.
Nice.
5 hours into 2026.
Were they grabbing
What?
your
5
junk?
a.m. January 1st, I had to explain to the fucking retards at the TSA, and I'll explain why they are retards later. It's not just a slur, it's a measurable observation based on their test scores. I had to explain to them, I'm not taking the picture. It's optional. And he said, you put your ID in the machine before you told the lady that you were opting out. I go, who cares? I'm opting out. And he says, yeah, but you can't put your ID in and then opt out. And I said, why? And he says, because you have to take the picture. And I said, see that sign above every one of these terminals here that's highlighted in yellow? It says optional. Do you understand what optional means? And I kept doing this and I was getting louder and louder and louder. And he's like, but you can't put your ID in there. I go, you're asking me to put my ID in there. I'm opting out of the picture. He goes, but you can't put your ID in there before you tell us that you're opting out of the picture. And I go, why? And he says, because it'll break the machine. I go, that's not my problem. And second of all, let's go to another machine. And he goes, you can't use that machine. I go, why? He goes, that machine's broken. I go, well, then why is there a guy sitting at the machine if it's broken? This was the conversation. And I was just about to remind him, had this gone on any further, I was just about to remind him, hey, you know the test you took when you applied for the job at TSA? Did you know that the scoring's like golf, where the low score wins? You know, you got hired for this job right here because you scored so low on the test that they know with absolute certainty that you have no other possible employment opportunities.
Do you say
Therefore,
that?
they don't have a problem investing the time and resources to train you to become. This was where I was about to go with it.
Okay.
And he and I wouldn't back down. I finally go, what part of optional don't you understand?
So
He goes, you have to
when
go to another terminal to get in now.
I went to the
I was like,
airport
fine.
recently when I went to
Stupid.
Miami, and I flew to Tampa and back. And on the way there, I went through Denver to Tampa direct. At Denver, no fucking human being or machine ever looked at my identification, not one time.
Wow.
I went through and I had my boarding pass. And at one point, I had to scan the boarding pass somewhere. And they took my fucking picture. I didn't know what was happening. I'm like, they're like, stand here. And I'm like, okay. And then they let me
That's
through.
where you're
And again,
supposed to opt out.
yeah, I've never had this done. I didn't know it. I didn't get. I'm like, dude, here, I'm a little.
And there's
more
a
relaxed
slot
with my
there for your
rights on
card.
planes. Is there? I never put a card in nowhere. I only got asked for my card on the way back.
I know, they should have.
It's wild. So I don't know what the fuck the deal is with their security measures, because, well, I just assumed once they took my picture, they ran my shit in the computer instantly, because they took my picture and it probably took them 5 or 6 seconds. And then they said, okay, you're good. And then I kept going. And so I just assumed, after the fact, looking back on it, I assumed they fucking just photo ID'd me in the computer somehow, some way, something like that.
I have to add one more thing to what I said to this guy. He
Yeah.
said, because you put your ID in first, you have to take a picture. I go, fine. I walked to the camera and I turned around backwards and put the back of my head to it. I go, take the picture. And he goes, I go, well, take the picture. If you have to take the picture, take the picture. He's like,
how much do you want to bet?
I can't do that. I was like,
How
How much do you want to bet
okay.
they could ID you from the back of your head?
Probably.
Oh,
Was your wife and your daughter with
I
you?
walk. They yes and no. They were with me, but my wife has clear, and so they went through a different thing, and they were going on a different. We were going from the same airport. They were going to Phoenix. I was going to Denver. So we were actually going 2 different places. We were on different flights. So I was like, I'll meet you in there anyway. And then when I got in there, they're like, how was it? I was like, I got into an argument with them, which is,
Standard.
not entirely surprising, but
when it comes to the plane stuff, I'm a little bit more relaxed with all the ID stuff, because you're like up in the air like a fuck ton of feet, and if it falls out of the sky, like everyone's fucking dead. And so I kind of understand the kind of need. I understand how it was bullshit when it came in place in 2001 and all the events leading to it, blah blah blah. However, still, I would kind of expect the highest of motherfucking standards, and I don't really want no welfare people with no IDs or IDs that say no ID, right, getting on a motherfucking plane.
Dude,
and so, plus we have an alternative, which is better. It's called fucking driving. And so, if you want to fly, it's more of a luxury to me, because I can get there no matter what the fuck. And so, there you go. That's my take on it.
I mean, we used to have no IDs, but you could smoke on the plane.
Dude, we've got fucking Zeppelins or whatever coming back. Is that the same thing as like airships? I don't know what the fuck, but there are like those big,
it's like a blimp.
I think
yeah,
so.
like big floating blimp. Like that's coming back. They've tested it over in California already. Like I want that shit. You just got room to like walk around. There's a fucking garden in there and a waterfall or some shit. Like I want that. Come on.
I want to be in the sky like as little as possible. The older I get, I just don't want to do it no more.
In the South, I lived in LA in this area. Whenever you would get on the freeway in this one part of town, you'd go through this city called Carson, and you would see the blimp parked there. And it would just be docked, all the time, because that's where one of them lived. And I always thought, fuck, what do you have to do to get in? They've got to do something where they've got like promos where they can put you up in there and go for a ride, do something. It's got to be like marriage proposals and shit like that. I mean, what else are they doing? They're getting their asses handed to them now by drones. So
It-
why
you
you
know, I
gonna
just
fly a
watched a
blimp for
clip.
$1 million over the course of a weekend for the Rose Bowl when you're gonna have a bunch of drones for $10,000?
I just watched a clip on fucking YouTube of from Harold and Kumar in White Castle or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm talking about? He's on the plane and he's trying to hit the bong in the fucking bathroom and they bust him and it looks like a fucking bomb. And he's like, no, it's a bong. Oh my god, it's a bomb, terrorists.
He looks like he's a
funniest shit.
terrorist descent.
But I remember flying as a kid.
Have
with
you
like the
ever
smoking section in the back? It was like 4 rows and you're allowed to smoke there.
Oh, I didn't even fly till I was like 16, so I never saw that. The
It was
golden
like that
age
COVID
of flight.
mentality. Like the smoke didn't go past, you know, the smoking section.
Yeah, it knows. It knows what it's doing. What about you, XQ? How's your Christmas?
Oh, all good. I slept, so I felt good about it.
That's pretty good.
That's all I do. Like I sleep. I have a conversation with my dad. We sit there and we watch sports, and that's about it. Yeah.
Eat good food.
Yeah, and I eat. Yeah, of course. I ain't got to eat good food. I mean, that's the only way to do it is to get
That's
my
why, like-
mom's home cooking. So
How can you
So,
not
yeah.
like
Little baby
Christmas?
Jesus play a part in your day at all on that day?
the little baby Jesus. What you mean?
Yeah.
Has to be
The
baby.
little baby Jesus, you know, did baby Jesus play a role in your Christmas that day?
Well, I mean, we didn't really talk about it, but
Okay. I see.
I mean,
You failed, baby Jesus.
I mean, that's my bad. I mean, what you want me to do? I mean, that's not something that came up. I mean,
Sweet,
like-
sweet little baby
Can I,
Jesus.
can I ask a Jesus question? Can I ask
Uh-huh,
a Jesus
yeah.
question? We have baby Jesus and we have adult Jesus. I never see teenage Jesus.
Oh, we're supposed to forget about
It
the
doesn't
years
exist.
Is there one?
0 to 33. They didn't exist. Nothing happened.
Yeah,
Ignore it.
Was that
yeah. There's nothing in any record book in
That's
the
not
history of
true.
man on it.
That's
this
not
is
true.
all
It's not?
mythology.
Okay. Okay.
It's just
This
not
is
in the
myth.
Western. It's just not in the
Okay.
Eastern traditions.
okay,
They have
okay.
records of him visiting and studying with the
Okay.
ascended
Oh,
masters
so
there.
it's-
So
It's,
that's in
so
their
it's like,
scrolls.
like an
They're
Arabic.
just
Are you
Church.
talking about in Egypt? Are you talking about in Egypt?
No, there's record of him going to Egypt in the East, but Egypt's also lost
Well,
those
okay.
records. So like the records
So-
that were suppressed in the West, destroyed in Egypt, and only in like the craziest fucking locations in the East can you find record of it. But they have plenty of them. It's just, people who are considered Christian in the Western world don't buy that. But Eastern Orthodox churches, they do.
Yeah,
So
but
there's
King
no
James,
other written
King James
record of
would-
Jesus
uh-huh.
from the time that he lived ever. All the known writings
Well-
of Jesus that we have are post when Jesus was alive. So we really have no evidence
Pending.
that he ever lived. Period.
So
There's like
King
no
James-
confirmation, no nothing.
Except for
Right.
some documents that aren't popular.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Jesus
and
wasn't
look,
what he
that-
was
that's already
called
been stopped
2,000
out.
years ago.
Jesus is a title.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
King James would have stomped that shit out anyway. That's not canon.
Right.
I mean, they decided, was it the Council of Nicaea? Isn't that it? The
It's part
Council
of
of
it.
Nicaea. Yeah, they determined what was going to be canon and what wasn't canon. Like this was a fucking damn TV show.
We can't have all these. Well, because we had like 55 different conceptions of like what Jesus even was. Like some people were like, he was just a guy who was really smart. And other people were like, no, he was like literally God. And then other people were like, no, he was like part guy, but part God, but sometimes guy. And then like there's all these different nuance, like this is what he actually was, and it matters deeply whether you think he's this or that. So they had to
Also,
like stabilize it and
at
be
one
like, no,
point-
this is the official take. Here's what he was, here's what he did, here's what he said. There we go.
Mhm.
Also, at one point, he was a zombie.
I came back from the
Oh
dead.
shit!
yeah.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Cosmic zombie Jesus.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Like none of this is
Huh.
real
The-
at all. Like this is all myth.
Uh,
100%.
Hold on, Corey. I mean, let's.
Like we believe pure
Yeah.
nonsense, and even
A
if
guy
it was
named
real, we're
Jesus.
gonna take the word of some people who didn't know why the sun fucking came up in the morning 2,000 years ago. It's ridiculous that the world revolves around this shit at all.
Hold on, man. I mean,
About control. It's about money. And it's
it
about
helps some folks out.
convincing
Well,
people
Look,
that the imaginary man in the
it
sky
didn't-
is watching them every minute.
I mean, it's used for that, but to
So we can
pretend
get
like we
control.
don't have any sort of spiritual basis for understanding and enlightenment is pretty ridiculous.
Well, we don't know
I mean,
shit
like,
today, and we assume that they knew shit then. And this is why, like, here's an example of this: the Zionists go digging through all the fucking Talmud and these ancient texts and the scrolls and the Egyptian shit because they think there's some fucking hidden meaning in the shit that's going to give them some fucking enlightenment and truth. Why on earth do we think that people from thousands of years ago had any kind of enlightenment that we don't fucking have, and we know they were living in mud huts with fucking loincloths?
well, before
It's
that,
ridiculous to me.
before that, they were building monolithic structures we couldn't even imagine.
Right,
building
100%
today.
in a civilization that
Yeah, I
has
was gonna
nothing to
say-
do
Yep.
with our civilization.
Not true.
A long lost civilization, because our civilization that stretches back even beyond our written record. I don't believe any of that capability at all. That stuff seems way, way beyond anything that we could ever have done
Way
in this
beyond.
batch of civilization. Right,
Right, because we're retarded. So, like, our retarded view of what came down from a civilization that's actually more advanced than us is like encoded into mythology and these things, but there's actually truth to it if you know how to understand that. It's
right, but that's the
not
thing. How do
actually
we know how do we know and who's to say what's the proper interpretations of these things?
I mean,
Because
that's
I
up to
watch, trust me,
you.
I sit here at night and I watch this shit
Fair.
too. I watch all the shit too on YouTube, and I try to figure out some of this ancient history stuff. And it seems pretty clear there was a civilization that came and went long before we knew what time it was.
It's
at
so
all.
obvious it's retarded that anyone
Right.
doesn't think so. But beyond reading or
the
beyond
example
YouTube,
the most
I
recent
mean, there's
one I
people
watched
who
was
have
on.
passed down these things for centuries and centuries, and even that is probably somewhat garbled, but it's at least
Right.
far transcends what's encoded in like the Bible. But the Bible's got some seeds of it, and the character known as Jesus has some seeds of it. But like the rest of it is pretty pretty suppressed. You're not supposed to find it, and if you're going to, it's like a pretty long circuitous route to rediscover some of it, and then to interpret
Right.
it correctly is like a whole other thing. So no one can tell you what is factual or what's true or whatever. You have to do that yourself. But here's some things that are really interesting to me is that sound technology and light technology seems to have been deeply encoded in a lot of that. And we're
Right.
just now scratching the surface of how fucking miraculous and like seemingly against all laws of physics some of that can be. And they seem to have had it and nailed it. And that seems to be encoded in a lot of what a lot of people call the ascended masters have passed down, Jesus being perhaps one of them. Who is remembered in some way, albeit quite distorted. So that kind of shit is like fascinating to me. So to say there's like nothing to any of it is not true, but to say that it's how they say it is also not true.
Right. For sure. This use of sound and light, this ancient use of sound and light is pretty fascinating. And I think there's a ton of evidence that they're definitely experimenting with this stuff. Probably Lockheed and Skunk Works and all these people will probably have things
DARPA.
that are working on or have somewhat mimicked these things. I watched one of these, Sean Ryan, the CIA guy who has a podcast who says he's not CIA. And he had a guy on who was talking about he was walking through like one of these bases out in Nevada, and he got to an area he wasn't supposed to be in, and there was this like monolith looking thing that was floating off the ground, and he could hear this like hum, this low hum. And he walked with this guy, but when he came back, all it was cleared out within like 10 minutes. All that stuff was gone from the area that he was just in. So that's some interesting stuff. Use of sound to make shit float off the ground. But how would you do that without like cooking our guts or vibrating us to death and shit? You know what I mean? I'm interested in
Yeah, it
that
has to be
aspect of
directed
it.
and like in engaging at a certain point, which is they find the same thing with magnetic and light and acoustic, and that they do in acoustic levitation, which is that it has to be like pretty fucking precise, or else you're going to do some major bad damage with this shit. I don't know. That's why I like sound healing and these types of things, because they carry the egregore of ancient technology.
Yeah, the real question is how many people you got to kill till you figure it out.
Yeah,
that's the number one question. How many people you got to kill before you figure the shit out? That's all I ever wanted to know. Like everything we ever found out. Well, anything we ever found out that would like cure people or anything. I want to know how many people you had to kill until you figured out how to actually do the shit. That's what I want to know.
Like that's what those underground bases are for.
All that shit. Yeah.
Black budget. Get it done.
That sound frequency psychedelic DMT revving in your ears that you get, the buzzing. That also reminds me of like the importance of like sound frequencies and
Yeah,
how
you
that
do
can be
it
used
too.
to
If you've ever gone out
to-
of body, you're going to experience the same thing. There's always a sound. Sometimes for some people it's like a high pitched buzz. For some people it's like a whistle. But it's usually increasing vibration of some type until you like pop out. Now you're in
yeah.
another realm, and so the sound
Well,
is
I
there
haven't
too.
popped out, but that was yeah. I guess in a sense I popped.
You popped out. You did it a
I
different
popped
way.
in or something.
Yeah. But
So when you've been
Yeah, I did
when
it
you've been
different way,
awake
but I
for
had
like 3 days,
I mean, were you out or were you in? I want to know if you were out or in. I mean,
when you've been up for like 3 days, strung out
Well,
on
the time
meth,
I kept
like,
my
you'll
eyes
hear weird
open.
vibrations like that too.
true.
Straight
Yeah.
up.
That's true.
Shit that makes you like that sounds so real. You're like, what was that? Like like when you do the finger thing, like that, but super real. It's gotta be
I remember
the CIA fucking with you because they know.
So people who
I remember doing acid in like I don't know, it's like 19 or something, 20, and one of the things that I was with a couple of friends, and one of the things I noticed that you get these weird superpowers, and yeah, you don't really know. Like, I would always get like a random superpower when I was on acid, and it wouldn't be like the coolest. I mean, this one was I could hear people talking like down the hall in a room, whispering to each other when I'm like in the living room, and I could never hear that before. But I
like
could just sit
psychic.
there and just like dial it, like totally dial it in. And I was like, that's crazy. I get criticized now because people are like, I can't. I'm like, say it again. I
Can't
can't
hear
hear.
shit.
I need people to. I could hear like twice as well as I could normally hear. It's like that's so cool.
Dude, people stopped
How's it doing? And
doing
then I start thinking, well, but here's kind of where my brain goes with this. It's like, this is cool. I can most definitely do it. It's not like a magic trick, I guess. I don't know. I mean, they're really talking. I can actually hear them. But I'm going, okay, so then why can't I do that all the time?
because you've got too many barriers. It's not your expectation. It's not what you're doing. You're super preoccupied with a billion different things. Like you're not honing into. You could do it at any time. You just don't. People stopped wanting to do acid with me because I would accidentally read their minds constantly. So I just like walk up to them and I'd start responding to their thoughts, and they're like, "Dude, get the fuck away from me! Like, what the fuck are you doing?" And I didn't know I was doing it because I just thought that they were saying shit, and nobody was. So like at first it was funny, and then it was like kind of weird, and then it was like scary for people, and they're like, "I don't want you in my head." And I'm like, I don't know how to stop like doing it, so I just guess we won't do acid together anymore.
Well, another aspect.
Normally, it's funny when you're like.
It was funny at first, and then after a while, people like, stop doing this.
Another aspect of reading people is
I think
people
everybody
wear their
who's
whole life. People wear their whole life on their face.
Oh, Cory, you talk
at all times.
Yeah, they're like telegraphing it, even if they're not saying it out loud.
Right,
for sure.
right.
Yeah.
It's
so
weird because I try to look at the eyes and figure out like people show like crazy Erica Kirk eyes, and I'm looking at the eyes and I'm like, okay, yeah, they're crazy, but like, why? What's making them crazy? Is it the eye? Is it the eyelids around it? Is it the muscle or bone structure? Like, what is going on that makes it crazy? And I can't really figure that aspect out.
I mean, there's both. It's like that psych show or whatever, which I didn't watch, but I understood the premise was that the guy could pick up on all these details and it made it seem like he was psychic. But there's also actual information that is coming from person to person that is beyond hearing or sight or any of that stuff. It is
and I wonder if there's pheromone communication. I wonder if that's real too. I know it is on some level, but we can't. I wonder how much that influences our interactions with people and what kind of messaging is sent on those kind of pathways.
Yeah, and just electromagnetically. It's like fucking pigeons. Like weren't we talking about this last week? Like they can fucking go anywhere for some reason. Well, like they know no matter where they went to, like how to get back. And so like there's other things, there's other sources of information that we don't think for some reason about, but they exist. Pheromones being like one of them.
Vibes, heavy rooms. You've heard the term, like you walk into a room and it's like a heavy vibe or like a heavy atmosphere, where somebody's just had an argument and everything just feels fucking weird, and, or there's a lot of tension. I've had that. We would get pretty good at it felt like, like people who can feel earthquakes a little bit before they happen. I felt like the place where I bartended, we could feel fights before they happened.
Yeah.
You could just feel like something kind of like an energy change, and it just felt like, but I would never notice it in the moment. It was always in retrospect that I'd go, yeah, it did. It was getting kind of weird right before that fight broke out. But I never was able to do it the reverse way, where it was like everything felt weird and I was like, there's going to be a fight. There's going to be a fight. I could never do it that way. But in retrospect, it was always one of those things like, yeah, everything got a bit like shadowy or something, like the shadows. You know how like when you're on a hallucinogen and the shadows change, like for whatever reason, all of a sudden the lighting kind of shifts and it goes from like a like Elaine in Seinfeld or Seinfeld where like it's the chick that looks good in one sort of lighting and awful in another sort of lighting. That happens like on psychedelics. The lighting will shift and like the shadows will shift and it'll change, like a dark energy or a song will come on, or like it'll go from like a yellow light to like more of like a dark red light, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's like a fucking heavy energy in here. Especially on ayahuasca, man, the music, this guy started playing music a little bit faster and everybody started throwing up.
Get that shit out.
I wonder how much of vibes comes down to actual like the physical body. So you've all seen those videos where they like yell at the water, or they're like nice to the water, and it's like does different stuff. Well, we're mostly water. So if an emotion, or if an actual emotion internally, which is a chemical reaction, causes our consciousness to have this feeling, would that ripple through our own body and therefore have an external radiation like you would expect from all vibrating bodies, which is what we fundamentally are on an atomic level. So like, how much of that plays a part in our interpretation of the vibe of the room or of people?
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
The air also has moisture, right?
The air would have to transmit. It would have to. It'd have to be a medium between to transmit that, and air. Yeah, the air and everything would completely, or the ether itself, the underlying undetermined ether could be the culprit here.
So this is why it's fascinating too to study. I did this on my show for a while when I used to still interview people. I would often ask them like, what got you into like the esoteric or the alternative or the fringe or whatever it is, and like 100% of people would be like, I don't really know, but like my childhood was hella shitty. And I'm like, why is every single person have this trauma basically? And not every person actually has childhood trauma, so it is kind of weird. But there's this whole thing, right? And a lot of people know it, that like if you experience severe childhood trauma, oftentimes you're more empathic or more sensitive or more psychic or whatever you want to call this type of shit. And it makes sense because kids who were in any type of danger or abused or anything like that had to learn how to sense things that were otherwise like not on people's minds, and they weren't training themselves to sense. And like in this case, you are accidentally training yourself to sense this, so you have some sort of like, maybe I can protect myself, or maybe I can avoid this situation, or maybe I can hide, or whatever it might be, which and then also makes it kind of horribly but understandably like why things like MK Ultra type stuff might rely on traumatized people or traumatizing people, a la Stranger Things and such, because it creates sort of like the right psychic conditions. Like there's more to it than that, but that's like one of the facets, at least, sadly.
Okay. I mean, maybe. I mean, I'll take it. It sounds good. Or they always say the coping mechanism. Well, there's been plenty of movies where it's like, where they've showed this, where somebody had a traumatic childhood and they end up making up, characters and things around them that's not actually real. So I don't know if they've got ties with the psychic or they're just now insane.
Yeah.
So I mean, which may be one and the same. Okay, it may be a singular being. Okay, so
I did a show recently on like schizophrenia versus psychic spiritual gifts, and like what the difference is. And the difference is literally like in one case you can handle it and live a normal life, and in the other case like you can't. That's the difference. So you just actually look at like the experiences that like psychic people or spiritual healers are having compared to like the schizophrenic who's screaming downtown and like wearing a bag of pee on his head, you know, like that's the difference.
Yeah.
That person can't handle it and this person can handle it.
Yeah, your mind is broken. And
Yeah.
so that's it for you. And so you have created now a world that only exists to you. Like everybody else is like, what you talking about, man? Or young lady, whichever one. And so, you know, I guess we're saying there's a fine line between psychic abilities and insanity. All right. And
I had a
just depending
roommate,
on
like,
which side of the spectrum.
Which way
to
you
I
go.
had a
go.
roommate in like
Yeah,
30 years ago in 97 who was I guess he was on paper bipolar, but he must have been more on the schizophrenic side of things. And we were warned before we lived with this guy that he went crazy in the winter. Like he was a seasonal kind of guy. He was fine all year, and if he took his meds, because he did, and he was cool. And as soon as winter rolled around, he would be like, "I'm good. I don't have to take my meds," and he would go like fucking batshit crazy.
Wow.
But there were times when he would go batshit crazy that he would sit there and just like spout off philosophy shit that was like, "What are you talking about, brother?" You know, like, and it was crazy because there was some sense to what he was saying, and he was, you know, he was crazy. You just look him in the eye, and it was like when you look at people on acid, you could just tell that they're on acid. It was like that. You'd look at him and you'd be like, "What is wrong with you, brother?" You know?
Yeah.
So it was
Oh,
wild.
we were
There's
just
definitely
talking
a
about this
correlation
too.
there.
Yeah, like some of my favorite people have been schizophrenics. Schizophrenics like love me for some reason and like seek me out and find me, so, like the crazy ones on the street and the ones who are doing well, both. I think it's because I get them and I'm like half in their world. I'm just not unstable with it. And so I'm sure plenty of people think I am, but I'm actually doing fine, right? But so I think there's like something in that. But like some of my best conversations I've ever had are with people who are deeply schizophrenic and not medicated. Those people can be fucking tapped into shit. Dude, they'll say shit they don't even realize is like super deeply psychic or like a message that it's fucking crazy. I actually love it. I'm not saying that anyone should go off their meds, or I'm not trying to glamorize schizophrenia. I'm just saying it can be absolutely brutal and destroy lives. Really cool shit can come through though. It's pretty cool.
Or you could be the cool schizo. It's like, now look,
You can be a cool
there's about a
schizo.
1. This be like the lottery odds. You have a 1 in 283 million. You know, chance of being
In the good one.
the cool schizo. But I mean, hey, throw your name in the pot. You know what I'm saying? Maybe today will be your lucky day. Obviously, the talk of the week, the talk that's going to be this week is Venezuela. They went and picked Maduro up. Now,
I love it.
the crazy thing about this is that these niggas picked him up in like less than an hour. No casualties. Shit didn't get blown up. I mean, ain't one drop of blood. They just they swooped down. They said, there he is. Nabbed him up, put him in the helicopter or whatever, flew back, and it was like, well, that was pretty easy. I'll catch y'all next week. I mean, that was it.
That motherfucker ain't got 10 guys with guns. Maduro ain't had 10 guys with guns.
Dude,
he didn't have 10 guys with fucking guns.
The best meme on this whole thing has been the gay talk, the gay fucking speech in Stranger Things took longer than it took them to come in, get Maduro, and get out.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
By like
but
20
what
seconds.
kind of defenses they got there? I'm so disappointed in the world. Like everyone's defenses are shit.
And
like,
China
even
was there.
America ain't got no sky defense shit. People could just swoop right in. What are they going to get intercepted by the Coast Guard? Give me a break.
No. They had all of the shit from what's it? China. China gave them some shit, and Russia gave them some shit. But look, here's my thing. They sent like 10 niggas, and like there's like 3 of them on the helicopter, so there's like 7. Like 7 boots on the ground. So you had one person driving, and somebody else probably stayed in the ride too. So that leave like 5 people. People went and picked my man up. Didn't have to bust nobody's ass. None of them get injured. and he back in the
No.
U.S.
This
in
still
damn
makes
2
sense.
hours. I'm like, hold on a
in
second.
the coolest tracksuit ever.
He gave himself up.
Why would he give
Is that what
himself
happened,
up though?
Charlie?
Why
This
wouldn't
was
he
a-
just like? Why would he do that?
Maybe he didn't have a choice.
Why would he give himself up?
Yeah.
So he doesn't become Muammar Gaddafi.
Yeah.
But this was too easy. This was handing
His outcome
yourself
ain't gonna be
over.
much
This was
better.
Luke Skywalker handing himself over to Jabba.
Supposedly, so some people are like, oh, it was the
To put it
Huawei
in
phones or whatever,
Star
the
Wars
Chinese
terms.
phones that we had like hacked, and that's how we knew exactly where he was. And other people are saying it was the lady, the vice president, who actually like ratted him out and now is pretending to care that he got taken. So which makes more sense to me. I mean, they both could be, who fucking knows? Maybe you have 2
I'm going to
points
point
of
something out. You just said
triangulation.
I'm
he had a
sure
Huawei phone that had to be hacked, so that's why everyone should get a Chinese phone because they have to hack them. They don't have a back door.
That's true, but then China
get an
fucking
above phone.
has it all.
They can have my shit.
That's
China can do absolutely zero with it.
so you know that you
The
remember
number-
how it's kind of it's newer to people in the past 7 years at least or so that like phones listen to you and then you see an ad for the shit you just talked about and all of that. But that was happening like 15 years ago on Chinese phones. My brother had one because it was like cheaper. He was an international traveler. And so he got this cheap ass Chinese phone. And like, but all the time when he would like be talking about something, that's what would come up in his like whatever. And so that they were doing that shit first. They pioneered it and specialized in it, I would say.
Does everyone still deny that that's real? Do they still deny that they do that?
I don't know.
I don't
It's
think
like
they do.
so obvious.
No,
Only-
because the ad.
Only somebody who just doesn't know better would
What
deny
tripped
that
me
at this
out
point.
is the other
because
day,
it's so common
I
knowledge
literally
and
just-
provable.
I was in the fucking shower. I was just thinking really hard about something. I don't remember what it was. It was like a product of some kind. And I was like thinking about like, yeah, that'd be cool. Like maybe I'm going to get that. I don't remember what it was, like a bird feeder or some shit. And I'm like thinking about it and I get out and I open my phone and there's a fucking ad for it. And I'm like, you fucking assholes. Like,
Well,
get
that
out of my
reminds
head.
me. They also, who was it? Somebody on Joe Rogan show once said that the algorithm will be able to predict what you'll want based on
That's what
your
I'm like,
past behavior.
Did I think about it? Because they suggested it in various NLP like ways and so, you know, I hadn't seen an ad for it, but maybe there was other things like they slowly highlighted the word bird feeder or something like as I read it, or you know what I mean? Like they flashed
that's
it
a
or
possibility
something.
too.
And then I thought of it, or did I think about it and then they picked it up and fucking advertised? Like which way was it? Either way, it's disgusting and I hate it. It's invasive.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of one of those things that I believe is only going to escalate from here. From this point in time, it just get more.
By the
and
way,
more
just take
as far as that goes.
that
Mhm.
bird feeder and then extrapolate out what that's like with the transgender movement,
Yeah.
where you can just make everybody have the thoughts in their head. They're in the shower. They get out of the shower. Everywhere they go, they're trans. They're thinking about transgenderism. They're thinking about estrogen, hormones, shots. Everything in their life is like totally curated to them. Next thing you know, they're
Or-
like, I think I'm trans. Well, no
or
fucking
any
shit. You think you're
propaganda.
trans. Your entire world.
Well, yeah. Now, my question on the Maduro thing is that did anybody cash in on that 50 million?
What's
I
the
mean,
50 million?
that was
I
a
think
$50 million
Maduro
bounty
did.
for
I
information.
think he gave
for
himself
information.
up.
Oh.
I
For
think
50
he
million.
gave himself up. Not for 50 million. I think he gave
Oh,
himself
okay.
up. I think this is orchestrated. You guys come in and you pretend like you raided us and you pretend like you got me. And then that way my people don't have to know that I cut a deal with you guys in advance so that you don't murder me. I can't look like I'm working with you, but it's okay if you guys capture me. But there'll be no shootout. There'll be no blood. There'll be a ton of cameras everywhere. We'll do all the things that we need to do for the media. And then you guys can run the stories and you can take me to Brooklyn and then you can fake my death and move me out. And I go to Pedo Island with everybody else and live the rest of my life with my $50 million reward for turning myself in.
And it would have to be
That's my guess.
especially convincing to China too. So that would make sense.
I just really fucking hope that there's so much more to this that none of us fucking know about. Because if it's
Of
literally
course.
just typical regime change for oil shit, I'm like, no, I'd still buy it. I can't buy that. I can't buy it. Not that it's not the truth, but I just can't buy it because not again. right? It's like fucking Halloween Part 7. Oh my God, Michael Myers is back again, right? So I'm just in the state where, please let there be something more to it, okay? Please let there be some sort of, we have to take them over or else aliens will invade and nuke everybody. Like something, right? Some kind of shit that's
a pretty good one. I like that one.
There's the obvious backstory that's been building since like 1998 of Smartmatic and the voting machines in China. And they just fucking took off the black site in Belgium? Like they just took down a black site in Belgium that was all Huawei or whatever Chinese fucking hardware and Smartmatic infrastructure that had all its tentacles into all these different countries and all their voting mechanisms. And I'm not saying they're the only ones fucking with elections, but they're the last ones I want fucking with elections. I'd rather have our assholes fucking with our elections than their assholes fucking with our elections. And so the whole Smartmatic line, like if you follow that shit, that's crazy actually. It's fucking crazy. And so there's at least that going on. So to say it's just oil would be retarded. But to say that like we didn't want the oil, that'd also be retarded. Of course we want the fucking oil. But what we want, I think, more than the oil, because we don't need any, is China out of our fucking hair and Smartmatic shut down. And for China to not have this like base of operations and influence right there, right next to us. That's like number one, I believe.
I understand that, but that seems like it would be such a low priority secondary reason to go somewhere in such a grand scale kind of way, like that appears like an invasion to the rest of the world on the outside. You know what I mean? Like the optics are not good, and I don't know that they would risk. I mean, maybe you have accumulation of multiple factors, but this wasn't pressing. This shit didn't have to happen today. It could have waited a year or 5 years. Like it's been going on forever. It's not, and we're talking about a guy who's propped up by the CIA in the fucking first place. So the whole thing is just like, what the fuck? Why? None of the justifications make any sense. I mean, they all make sense, but not to the degree that I would think we need to go and invade a motherfucking country. You see what I'm saying? So that means that the threshold has been lowered to that degree. That's fucking horrific. That's horrific. If the threshold itself has been lowered to that standard, that's the worst. That's the story here. If that's the case,
if you just look at the China angle, then their fingers in the Smartmatic and the black site they just took down and the Venezuelan connection to that, it does make sense with the Chinese escalation that's been ongoing on multiple fronts, which are like through Iran, through Russia, through Taiwan, through all of these different areas in the world. Then I don't know that we can account for like the timing and like what makes sense in it, because I don't know that we're taking into account all of that. And I know China's not the popular enemy, but it is an enemy. And especially in 5th generation warfare, they are fucking escalating things all the time. So I love it. I love that China got their ass fucking kicked in this way. That's like my favorite thing this year. I know the year is fresh, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think Charlie, you got something, don't you?
Yeah. So one thing that when we're talking about the oil, one thing it's definitely about is preventing Venezuela from selling oil to China, and making sure reversing the ban on selling oil to Israel.
Yes, Israel loves this too.
I mean, immediately those things are going to be taken care of. The ban on Venezuelan oil to Israel is gone. American oil interests will go back in there. They were there before, and then they were thrown out. Now they're back. So, but here's what I think this is. Hesitant. I mean, here's what I think this is. If I'm looking at this, I think that the reason, Cory, you said there was no sense of urgency. There's no reason to do this now. Well, there would be a reason to do it now if you were trying to lock down supply chain with oil in advance of World War III in the Middle East. If you were going to kick something off and you knew that the Suez Canal and the Strait of Hormuz were going to get shut down and block off a ton of oil that was normally going to come flowing to you, you would want to make sure that you had a backup. You'd want to make sure you had 2 backups, maybe Venezuela and Nigeria, that don't have supply chain routes that are impacted by either of those choke points or the tip of South Africa. You know, you don't have to worry about Nigeria, just it's like straight shot across to Houston, and Venezuela straight shot up to Houston. Now you've got two supply chains for oil.
I understand exactly what you're saying. 100%. And this to me is fucking hilarious because it's like, well, why'd you kill him? I had to kill him. He saw me kill that other guy. I didn't have a choice.
Right.
There you go. Yeah, I like that.
It's murderer's logic, though. But in the moment, if you're in the murder scene, that's the move, right? If you're all a bunch of criminals, and you shot the guy, and he's dead, and the other guy saw you do it, and you know he's gonna blab, the move is you take him out too. Do you go to jail for both of them? Yes. But that's you know what I mean? It's like, you see that, you go, you're a maniac. You go, yeah, but that's what you do in that situation, right? You have to think like these lunatics think.
This is okay. This is what it looks like when Jews control the world. Just so everybody is clear on what's happening.
Well, maybe that's the case.
We were warned 100 fucking years ago. There's no excuse today.
I love the guy, the Venezuelan guy who came out and he's like, what, all you Americans are mad about like American imperialism and oil? And he's like, yeah, we want you to have our oil, not Russia, not China. Get in here. Like, what the fuck, you think we're mad about this? Like, this is the best thing. Which I love, because all the white liberal women are crying, you know, because there's this very noble anti-war sentiment, and I get it and I like it, but you aren't actually anti-war. Like, if what you mean by anti-war is let people who hate you come in and dominate you and take control of your shit, then that's fucking retarded. So if what you mean by anti-war is you prefer no war, and especially not war just for an economic gain or something, absolutely. But if you mean no war to the point of like laying down and getting butt raped by your fucking enemies, then like you're stupid. So like it's noble to be anti-war, but you should probably do it intelligently. You're not actually a pacifist. I hope not.
But you know, there might be an angle that we're overlooking on this potentially. And you know, we always speak about, you know, going back to Israel, things of that nature. But there is an off chance that Trump is just a fucking lunatic. Okay. And I mean, like, just like, it's like, man, fuck it, man, go get that nigga, man. It's just like, do what? It's like,
that guy pissed me off.
Man, we ain't gonna go pick, man, go pick his ass up, man. I'm done with the bullshit. Just go pick him up. Because like folks like legitimately like seem shocked. And Maduro, and I don't know, Maduro might have turned himself in. It might be a play or whatever. Or Maduro might just be just as shocked. And they just just drug him right out of his car. It's like, what the fuck?
For real.
What y'all doing here? I wouldn't have thought y'all been that ballsy. You know, sometimes the ballsy approach is the actual approach because people don't think you'll do it. And so it takes them by surprise because it's like, nobody be that stupid to do that. It's like, I'll be damn, go do it.
It's the energy of the people who are like, they come up to someone, they start running their mouth, and the person just fucking hits them. Like, you didn't expect me to hit you when you're just fucking running your mouth.
Charlie, what you said is fucking ominous. Like, very, very ominous.
Yes. But what, did any of us think we were escaping World War III? Like, I didn't.
There's no reason for any of this.
Well, there's no reason.
There's no reason for any of this.
No, of course not.
Except that these fucking Jews want to take back their greater. Well, here's the deal. People have to understand Zionism isn't about Jewish fucking this or that. It's a plot to take over the fucking world. It's obvious and openly written about in their books and writings over the fucking years in their personal diaries. And so this is, they got to take over the Middle East first to gain a grasp on the resources, because Israel has no fucking resources, like zero, no oil, no fucking nothing. So they have to take it. And then these fucking scumbag Zionists who are more either atheist or occultist, really. I kind of find there's two camps here. I don't know if there's a possibility for those to have an overlap. I haven't figured that shit out yet. But that's like the core of all this fucking shit, man. That is the core of all this shit. A Jewish plot to take over the fucking world, and we're playing a major part in our own destruction here. It's so disgusting. Like, it is. I'm at a loss for fucking words.
Well, again, I know everyone likes
Cory,
to discount
you should-
China, but China also has a stated aim to take over the world and especially bring America down.
That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous.
It doesn't matter. It's their aim. So they could still do damage along the way, and they still have a lot of capability. And so, like, you know, whatever. If you're going to choose between, who are you going to choose? I'm not choosing China. And so if in the meantime, sometimes, so again, I get that there's the whole Israeli plot and that part of Venezuela is at least serving Israel's needs. It also serves U.S. needs and U.S. sovereignty needs. And so if in that moment it's aligned with Israel, like, I'm okay with that. And in the long term, they're still the enemy.
Iran,
and we're still going to undo that or take that down.
Going to war in Iran is 100% for them. And if all we're going to go to war now in Venezuela to secure enough fuel to have a war for Israel, that does not benefit our sovereignty or anything along the way. Period. It just shows that we're puppets. It just shows we're fucking Jewish puppets. Like we've been since they fucking killed Kennedy.
Well,
Jesus fucking Christ.
And we also would have to have done that even if Israel didn't exist. If Israel did not exist,
a good book for you.
If Israel did not exist, we still would have needed to deal with Venezuela and China.
Trump has released this. He released this document on Thanksgiving night that was basically the Trump doctrine. It's the Monroe Doctrine for Trump. He talks about how they're pivoting to Western Hemisphere and why they're doing it. It's insane. It's unrealistic. It's all predicated on him not changing his mind the following day too. But it does explain his unusual boner for Greenland and the Panama Canal, because they're mentioned in there. And it's specifically talking about we're not going to worry about Europe anymore, which is, I mean, maybe it sort of sounded like we're not going to it almost kind of sounded like we're not going to be in NATO much longer, which would be great. I don't think anybody, and it also says we're not going to worry about the Middle East anymore. And I was like, yeah, right. Well, except for Israel. Of course, they don't put that in there. But it says the Monroe Doctrine was everybody that had existing like plantations or holdings, like the Dutch or whoever. You can keep them in the Caribbean. Like you can keep what you've got, but you can't bring any more people out here. Like we're shutting this down. It's closed for business. And that's what Trump wants to do in this Trump doctrine. And it's wild. And I think this is part of it.
I'm down with it.
But we got to be careful because if you do it too quickly and you are dependent on China for your pharmaceuticals, which we are, and rare earths, which we are, and a bunch of the other shit, which we are, and holding our treasuries, like you can't like really cut that relationship off too quickly right now because we have a financial, it's like we have a financial baby together with China. So like before we get into a war with it, like we've got to worry about that too. So they need to play this carefully.
I was looking at something that was interesting because I'm always like, why the fuck Greenland? Like, who gives a shit about Greenland? Is this just like for funsies or like, what are we doing here? And I saw this it was one of the geomagnetic excursion people who studies that, and they were showing these projected maps, which I don't think anybody knows if we actually have a pole flip and if it actually affects the Earth physically, what would actually happen. I don't think anyone can actually predict that. But they were showing a map that was from some pseudo official source, at least scientific. I'm not really sure where they got that one. And they were also showing a map from the, which psychic? Fuck. I think Dolores Cannon. And people think I know everything about her. I don't know shit about her, but she was a psychic and she had a map for the post-cataclysmic after the pole flip. And it matches. And like Greenland is something that is not destroyed in both maps. And I was like, that's actually really interesting. I know nobody out there gives a fuck about that, but I found it interesting because I don't really get why Greenland. And that just was one
is
sort
most
of
it
like,
empty?
I don't know. I mean, I assume it's rich.
Most of it's inhabitable, if I'm correct.
And I'm assuming it's rich in like resources, but I mean, more so than other places. Like, why?
It is. I just was doing something on this, so that's why it's kind of fresh in my mind. It's top 5 in rare earths for magnets, the sort of not necessarily like neodymium, but like the sort of other components that are needed for magnets. So yeah, it's pretty important. It would
That's
be a
actually way
good.
more
It's also part
important
of the
than
North American technate, part of this technocracy movement. Greenland was a part of that as well back in like the 30s. So it's been connected to this group. It's been lumped in with the group in multiple places. And I don't know
well, then it would become
if the
really
reasoning is
important
because
getting away from China.
they're well, it wouldn't hurt if you really were playing this game of like, we're going to lock down the Western Hemisphere. You know, and from like a strategic standpoint, it's not the worst idea. I mean, it's better than trying to manage stuff on the other side of the planet, theoretically. But I don't want the American Empire doing any of this shit, to be clear. But I'm just saying that from just a logistical standpoint, it stands to reason it would be easier. And if you could control that big part of Greenland, and there's not a ton there, and it is controlled by Denmark, and you could work a deal with them. Trump's this big deal maker, and he thinks he's going to get himself, you know, like the Louisiana Purchase or something.
Do we have
Maybe
any
he is.
bases
I
there?
don't know. Maybe there's more to it. Like I said, maybe it has to do with like, I don't know. Maybe they want to put seed vaults there.
Don't we
I don't
already
know.
have seed vaults there?
Could it have
think
to
we
do
do.
with restricting Arctic travel? Like what I'm thinking is possibly would it give them a better way to restrict Russian
It
travel
could.
in the Arctic?
Yeah.
Russia has nuclear powered icebreakers now. The nuclear powered that don't need to stop and refuel, and they've got multiple. I think they have 6 of them. The EU just launched their first one, and it's a solar powered.
Good for
It's
them.
electric. It's an electric icebreaker. So like
Oh, okay.
the least reliable source of power. Like it's not diesel. Like if you have diesel in there, you know, if you're running low, you can always go get more and then go out there and break more ice up. But this is going to be an electric icebreaker because, you know, they're concerned about the environment and shit, I guess. I don't know. But
Oh, okay.
just so
Hmm.
retarded. But Russia
Well,
is
the-
dominating. Russia has technology that's way better for dominating the Arctic, and that is a big play. That is a huge component, Corey. I don't think that people should minimize that, because I think people right now think, oh, it's just like icebergs and polar bears and shit like that. It's like, no, there's sea lanes that are really important to manage, and you know,
There's
shipping
that
lanes
Mystic
and
Mountain
things
in
like
there.
that.
There's
Belt
that
and Road
Mystic Mountain at the
Initiative.
very North Pole in there. There's like some super weird fucking ancient pyramid shit going on at the tip of the North Pole. I seen a video on it, so it had to be true.
And probably maybe
And it probably
the tip
is.
of the
Hey,
flat
look,
Earth is.
what's insane is that, you know, we get up here and talking this all great, but
Oh, so there's no ice
we
wall
actually
because
don't.
it's the center, right?
Yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
gotcha,
We
I
actually
see.
don't. We actually don't know
Correct.
shit. Like we assume that we understand the motivations of these different countries, even Israel itself. And a lot of times we overlook things and people who may be making plays because we become so focused on this one thing.
Yep.
And so that's how stuff changes over time. You just
Well,
continue
the
to look
logical
at
thing
that,
is it's
and I
all
could be
about
making plays
Lucifer.
on the back end.
Mhm.
I was right. That's the logical thing. If we're thinking about it. Now look, Trump has came out, and we've got Delcy Rodriguez, who is taking over for a little bit, but Trump said that the US is going to be running this shit until we see fit. Okay? That's what I mean. Look, when I say to you that, like, we try to think that we know what he's doing, I just think he's like an actual, like, lunatic, like, straight up. Like, I mean, like, I think this
So-
is a totally different dude, man. And so
I need some
when he got up
clarification,
on,
Cube.
yeah,
I
What's
need
that?
you to clarify something for me. Because the government's out
all
there
right.
saying that they're going to control Venezuela and run the government there. And at the same time, they said that they just went in, made an arrest operation, and came back, and they're done. So both things can't be true. Are they trying to
Well, you
control the
see,
government psychically? Like, how are they doing this? Because they ain't got people in there calling shots. From what I
Keeping you
can
on
tell.
your
Oh no,
toes.
no. You see, and that's the thing. Like we didn't already sent folks. You know what I'm saying? Well, actually, we've already threatened people. Okay, because this right here recently, this came out today. Delcy Rodriguez is technically the leader currently of Venezuela, and Trump allowed her to know that if you don't do what's right, you're going to pay a price probably bigger than Maduro. This is his
Worse.
words. Okay, so like I don't think you understand like how different this is. Like we've had precedents in the past that tiptoe around shit. Like he's like sheer. I'm gonna say what I think. I'm crazy as fuck. If you don't do what I tell you to do, I will fuck you up. I mean, like that's what he pretty much got up on stage, stood in front of the mic. Is like, yeah, she better do what we want her to do, or else. Okay, and you seen what happened to Maduro? We picked him up real quick. We ain't even take him out. We was like, man, we're gonna pick him up. Now, when I send somebody for you, I'm gonna take you out. All right. So I'm just like, do what's right. Okay. When I make this
Who
call
was
to
Trump's mentor and lawyer? Who taught
I
him
don't
how to
know.
do all this? Corey?
Oh, let me know.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Roy Cohn.
Roy
I said,
Cohn.
who was Trump's lawyer and
Yeah.
confidant who taught him how to act like this? Roy Cohn.
Roy Cohn. My familiarity with Roy Cohn is less his known antics and more his involvement with Permindex, which was the JFK assassination. I call it the oversight board for the assassination. He sat on that board with Alan Dulles, James Angleton, Mo Dallas, Joe Bonanno, mobsters sitting on boards of companies with fucking CIA directors. Fucks up with that.
What's that name?
Tibor Rosenbaum, all these fucking people, Gershon Perez, all involved in Permindex, and so was Roy Cohn. So I don't know what years he was involved in that. He was kicking it in the early 60s, right? He wasn't just an 80s.
Yeah.
He was in those circles with. He was in the Lou Wasserman crowd back in the day, right? Yeah.
He was running sexual entrapment operations out of the Plaza Hotel.
Oh, it's so
in the 60s and 70s.
It's amazing how times have changed so much. Not.
Yeah.
You got a long line, like I've fucking known to the public, a long line of these fucking pimps who got caught, like Epstein, these traffickers. There's a whole long line of them. Going back to Bobby
Alleged
Baker,
pimps.
Jack Ruby, Marcello had a ring down there in New Orleans.
Well, the pimp thing would be the cover, right? That would be the cover. That's not the actual business.
No. I don't think so, because Jack Ruby was he was a nightclub guy, but he was a pimp. Jack was a pimp. So.
Oh, okay. I always think that would be the cover as opposed to what your actual business is with whatever ties you have with the government. Am I thinking correctly here?
Oh yeah.
Of your actual business. My actual business is with the government. I do the pimping stuff, so
Well,
if you get busted, you're like, oh, we busted for pimping.
Right.
For pimping. You know what I'm saying?
And there's a lot of there's a lot of CIA one-way relationships where the split second you get outed, you're like, who? So there's a lot of that going on.
Right, of course. So when they need to bust you, I can bust you on pimping, and you were never part of doing anything with us.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, so it's just like with Epstein. It's like, oh, child trafficking. Right. I mean, that's why you won't release the documentation, because it's a lot more than that.
It's wild
more.
how much has come out on Epstein, like going back to Iran Contra and shit. And so if all that is correct, which it seems to be from a real quick, peruse, then it's almost like he is kind of, as someone said it, he was kind of above CIA and Mossad in his contacts, which is fucking wild. Wild. It's something I never considered. You know,
So true. So he was almost like Men in Black. Is that what you're telling me?
like he of a
Like the
nefarious kind,
the secret
nefarious
agency.
Men in Black, right?
Right.
Right.
Like,
The deep government.
Yeah. It's like,
Because you got guys like him
we have
who
a
are
secret.
not
Yeah. Uh-huh.
guys like him are making business deals, not technically involved with the CIA, but working with BCCI and fucking working with all these shadowy, what we come to know as CIA banking enterprises. And he's there cutting deals in the midst using these go-betweens. And it's like, what is happening? Like, this is a major player, like way bigger than I ever anticipated. But then again, the cover up has been so big. It's like, what would we expect? Would they really put this big of a cover up into just a guy who was peddling kids? Who I'm sure there's 10,000 people in America peddling kids right now, you know? So,
right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
but they're not buying Southern Air Transport, the CIA's private airline, and relocating it from Florida to Columbus, Ohio, the way Epstein was. I think Epstein was in charge of Wexner's money.
the Southern Air
He was the
Transport
one
shit
who-
is fascinating
who
to me.
Who made that deal?
Oh, of
What's
course,
that?
Wexner was behind that shit too. The Southern Air Transport stuff is fascinating. That was the CIA's Cocaine Airlines, and so in the late 60s, I think 67, 68, they, on paper, the guy who ran that was a guy named Percival Brundage, and Percival Brundage just so happened to be the head of the Albert Schweitzer College, which is the alleged college that Oswald had applied to get his visa to get out of the country when he defected allegedly to the Soviet Union. So that, to me, that connection to Southern Transport has fucked a lot of people. A lot of people who are supposed to be on the up and up end up getting connected to Southern Transport. And you're like, oh, you're CIA the whole time. Duh. It's amazing. Like, the Kennedy assassination is the center of the conspiracy
And
universe.
another
Everything
thing-
connects to it. But Epstein seems to be like another one of these major epicenters of
But
corruption.
what would it mean to like transcend the CIA and Mossad? Like, what is that?
Like
even?
you're working directly for politicians.
Oh, I was
maybe?
thinking like an even more surreptitious, like shadowy
Jewish-
force.
Jewish mafia. Mega
I was
group.
thinking even deeper than that.
Oh, well, you
Are
got to
they
think the deepest
transcending
secret society
nationality?
is the Jew itself.
Satan.
Yeah, Satan. Right. There you go.
Lucifer. It said directly with
Lucifer
Lucifer
himself,
It
Mr.
said, yeah.
John.
Come on, that's what I'm
Lucifer.
talking
So that-
about.
It said I converse with him. All right, daily. We have daily.
I think there's
meetings,
something
you
to
know
that.
what I'm
I
saying?
believe
There is
these
something to
people are
that.
in contact.
I discounted
with
the Lucifer shit
non-human,
forever until I realized how
influence.
much faith they put into it. They
Dude,
put
if
so
you
much
look-
stock into it. It's unreal. I'm
It's
blown
also,
away
like-
to this day.
If you look at the shit that is so fucking weirdly dark magic that's like all on the surface even, let alone like, so then what's underneath that we never have seen, right? Like I wonder how terrifying it could be to behold and be some of these people who are brought in, like the black eye shit, right? The stuff where they like snap their fucking fingers and that motherfucker just changed personalities in a moment. And it's like, you're not that good of an actor, bro. Like that shit's real. They'll talk about like, oh yeah, I call in this entity and it takes me over and I just let it do whatever it wants. And you're like, what the fuck? So like, I always say, like, it doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. That's what they believe in. And that's what
And that's
they're
where that
doing.
Abramovich bitch comes
Yep.
into it, right?
Yeah.
The Abramovich
Yeah.
lady. What is it that she fucking studies? Does she study the Talmud, or is she studying
It's
some
dark
other
Kabbalah. It's dark Kabbalah. Yeah, it's Kabbalah, but it's like the occulted, twisted, ancient dark magic version. Because you could do Kabbalah and not be like. Let's
So-
be fair. It's weird, but you could do it. But like the roots of it are dark ass black magic, and that's what she's
Because
doing.
all that
It
so
requires
the-
body fluids. It requires like death magic. Like yeah, it's fucked.
Go ahead,
up.
Charlie. Oh, do you have
Have
something?
you guys
Charlie?
talked to Makia Freeman before?
Mm-mm.
You ever? I've had him on my show a bunch. I just interviewed him a couple days ago. He's got a new book called The Cult of the Chosen Ones, and it goes all the way back, Sabbatean Frankism, and follows this really small group that infiltrated Judaism and infiltrated this. It's a dark satanic, invert everything kind of group
shit.
that really took control and partnered with Rothschilds and did all kind of, really sort of established themselves. And we had a fascinating conversation about it. And I've
Does
got
he
the
bring
book,
up
and it's
does he bring up the
fucking-
Khazarians and Tengrism? So I totally 100%.
I don't know. It's a David Icke size book, like this big,
shit.
and he starts 400 years ago and works his way back. So yeah, my guess is that it's in there.
So before the
massive
Khazar is converted, the Khazar conversion is, people say it's bullshit. It's very well documented in a 12th century book written by a rabbi called the Kuzari. He wrote this book on how much of a flex Judaism is. Like, Judaism's so awesome, we converted the Khazar king. Here's the story. And he details every fucking thing that happened in the conversion of the Khazar king, who then converted his inner circle and then his kingdom, and then all the land converted to Judaism around 720 AD or something like that. These are the first white Jews on planet fucking Earth. This is the birth of Ashkenazi Jews. And so they are later run out of this region by the
sales
Russians.
Pitch, do you know?
You got to read the book. Yeah, he compares it to Buddhism and Christianity and all this other stuff. And he's like, oh, these are all weak religions. It's basically, he brings in a rabbi, and the rabbi tells him a story and boasts about how awesome Judaism is and gives all these examples and why all these other religions are heathens. And because the Khazar king, I think his name was Bulan, he wanted to... So they followed a religion called Tengrism, which is like ritual black magic, fucking sacrifice, dark shit, the really darkest shit there is. And he wanted to clean up his kingdom because it kept bringing him war with his neighbors, which would have been the Russians and whoever else the fuck was over there, right? And so that's why he brought the this rabbi in the first place. He brought in representatives of all the different religions, and the rabbi sold him ended up selling them the bag of goods, converts the whole kingdom, but they don't really change their ways. So now they're Jews, and they're still practicing the ancient black magic, combined with the Talmud, which has now been codified by 550 AD. So we're in the 700s. This is 200 years after the Talmud was even written. The first white Jews appear. So Russia will eventually invade and drive them out of the region, and a small group of around 300 or so will end up in Europe. And here is where you will find articles on how they've shown that all the Jews in the fucking world today can be traced back to this single group of about 350 Jews, I believe, from either the Rhineland or Poland, which is the two places where they settled the most, right? So that's where all these fucking Jews come from. They come from goddamn Ukraine, right? And so but my point was that they practiced black magic shit before they converted to Jews. Which had already its own kind of black magic, because it was kind of taken from the old Canaanite religion, because all those motherfuckers were black, okay? And so that's where all this dark, evil shit seems to come from. And these new motherfuckers seem to study that old shit, trying to learn some ancient fucking voodoo, and that's where the sacrifices come in and all the weird, dark shit, because they're trying to appease a god who'll give them information or something. I don't know. That's where my understanding of it kind of ends.
I'd like to see how those connect. I wonder, there's actually a much smaller book. It's by Robert Sepper. It's called 1666 something through sin. And it talks about perhaps that same group then becoming the Sabbatean whatever. And that this like degradation was like, we're going to commit ourselves to doing the darkest, most horrible shit we can, because that's how we bring about enlightenment in the world. So this is that sort of other side of that, right?
I bet you it would line up. I bet you the dates and stuff would line up completely.
1666 too, right? Isn't that interesting? Has the 666 in there?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? But it is interesting echo at least.
Same time frame.
This is the thing too. I look at where I'm like talking about, the enemy of my enemy is my friend for a moment at least, but it's still my enemy in the end. Right. It's like the Satanists are way worse than Luciferians, and the people who are like dead committed to like raping and killing and eating children definitely have to go. And if in the meantime there's some other people that also aren't cool, but they're like doing a good job of fucking up the Satanists, like I'm down with those people for the moment. Venezuela, the cartel of the Suns, those motherfuckers are Satanists.
The Luciferians think that Lucifer was a good guy, though. I think that's the understanding. They think he was a good guy and God was the bad guy. So they think they're doing good.
Right. And they're also all about freedom and empowering people, but they're also deeply about technology, which can definitely go astray. So
do they fuck kids?
No.
I think they fuck kids. They don't fuck kids?
No. Luciferians are not fuck. I mean, there might be a Luciferian who fucks kids, but in general, that's not the vibe.
It's not overall. It's not an overarching thing, but I mean,
which
there
side
might have
are you
been
on? You fuck kids?
one or two.
Exactly. That is literally the dividing line. Like, would you harm a child, or would you protect them at all costs? Which side are you on?
Yeah. So if you would harm a child, you're either a Satanist or an Afghani.
Yep.
Well, I find it
Right.
really in the world,
Right.
it only comes
Same
down
thing.
to there's really only two political ideologies in the world. There's globalism and nationalism, and there's nothing really in between except a mishmash of socialism. And so
Yeah.
it's kind of
Luciferians
polar.
would be
Politics are very polar.
nationalists because they're like everybody gets to determine for themselves. You don't centralize that shit.
Right.
I'm on that side.
But you
Wow,
need
that's
to be
crazy.
nationalist.
I'm just on the giant meteor side
And you
because
need-
it's
Yeah,
too
that
much
too.
for me to deal with
a
anymore.
homogenous culture. This melting pot bullshit ain't working.
No, it's
Yeah,
well,
It ain't working.
that
well,
that
the
was
meteor-
created till the
lie.
late
It is-
1800s.
it
It
is
was
a
created
lie.
by a Jew.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. The meteor
it was.
would, this so-called meteor would have us make the assumption that there's actually a space, which we may or may not
Damn it.
have. Okay.
We're
You
not
can't
sure.
even have faith in
Whatever
that.
it is. One of the trusses that's holding up the outer edge of the firmament falls down. Whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have to be from outer space, but whatever it is, go ahead and hit someplace of your choosing. Do the most damage. Take out the most assholes, please. Thank you.
Hey, you could
Right
still
on. We're ready for it.
whatever the big light in the sky is that we call the sun could still have an immense amount of energy that comes in and fries everybody too. So let's not overlook that.
Exactly.
Well,
Now,
let's wrap it up then. Let's get this shit over
Come
with.
on, bring it.
it won't be that easy, okay? I mean, you're looking for a quick end? No, sir, not today. I mean, not today. It's like you will endure this over many, many years. Trust
So-
me on that. What?
That's right.
So what up? Is
You go ahead,
Three Eye Atlas aliens or what?
I mean,
it
it's
gonna come-
gone.
Is it gone already?
It's gone.
Yeah.
No, yeah. You missed the mark. You
That
see,
was a whole bunch of
what-
hype for
what was-
nothing.
Yep.
well, you see, what was supposed to happen is that at a certain point in time, you were supposed to go in this closet and transport yourself to the actual spaceship via a calculator.
You missed it.
And so you missed that point, and it was in this company's building. I just gave you a little bit of a plot. This is the
That's
plot for the
Quantum
movie I was
Leap,
talking
I
about.
Oh. Well, this is if you
No,
have
that's
to
from
wear a
Begonia.
tracksuit and certain shoes and drink like a Kool-Aid, like then it makes sense to me. We've done this
Yeah,
before.
yeah. So
We've
you
done
go
that.
so you go to the office, and it's like, hey, I got the calculator, but I got to turn it upside down, and I've got 50 numbers I got to punch in here, so I got to remember the exact code. And when you stand in the closet, then it'll at this exact time it will transport you to the ship that's passing by.
Oh, lucky devils.
Yeah,
Is that how-
on the lunar eclipse. On the lunar eclipse, it has to be on the
Oh.
lunar eclipse as well. I forgot about that. So, yeah, I mean, you know what's crazy is that I know these
That seems
fuckers.
like a lot of work.
What was
to me,
it? What is it?
frankly.
Was it Catholic Church, U.S. government? Governments all over the place. I know that they've got bevies of information about crazy shit that has happened, that is actually real, that nobody needs to ever know anything about because people will lose their shit. Okay, we seen what happened when folks said that they were going to get the damn sniffles from COVID. If they knew all this other shit too, it'd be fucking over, son. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'd be
So
mass chaos.
You
So if the
cannot.
government, if the government was in possession of a big demonic
talking about
portal that
Dog
went
Man.
right to hell,
You'd
they
not
shouldn't
be
tell us about
surprised.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't tell anybody about it, okay? Leave that be.
I think it's in
Leave that
Antarctica.
information right where it's at. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a gigantic hole, essentially a gigantic butthole in Antarctica, and it might be a portal, and maybe Admiral Byrd flew in there, and it was definitely filled with like dinosaurs and shit. And so, are you guys ready to handle that?
Yeah.
Because if you're not,
Dude, I want that
then
so
shut the
bad.
fuck
Like
up
just
and just take your
rip the band-aid off. Tell us
bullshit
all the things.
disclosure when you get it from.
I want it.
No, these folks, man, it would destroy them. I'm like,
I
no,
want them to
but
be
folks
destroyed.
Folks can't handle
So-
basic information now.
Good.
Yeah,
It's a
like,
lit-
and I will. When I look at the laser beam on DMT shit at the wall stuff that they're talking about, motherfucker,
Uh-huh.
I don't want to know nothing else.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the rest of the
Why?
video
That's
because I
like
don't
the
want to hear
simplest
it.
thing.
Fucking A. Like, I don't need to know.
I
shit.
watched. I
That's-
watched. Did you? I watched him on Danny Jones, and I watched like the whole interview. It was super fascinating.
I watched the parts
it
about the
was-
laser beam shit itself, but when he started going off on some of his own personal philosophies on the universe and shit, the motherfucker just lost me entirely, and I was like, yeah, no. So I have no doubts his,
Hey, he's
his
done a lot of
experiment was
DMT and
legit.
stared at lasers. Give him a break.
Yeah.
It's got a lot going on.
Well, like, here's my thing.
Okay.
People are like, there's the DMT beings, and they're just waiting for you. Really? That's their whole life? They're just fucking waiting around for someone to hit some DMT just so they can
Yeah.
greet them? Like, fuck right off with your nonsense fucking
Yes,
stories. Like,
man. The shitting out here
No,
waiting
no,
for
they're
you to
not
reach
waiting
out
around.
to it.
This is like, have you ever been to Peepland? This is like when you go to Peepland and you put your money in the thing, and then the slot opens up, and then the chick at the other end of the hall who's sitting on the stool smoking cigarettes puts the cigarette out and waddles over to you and starts dancing. That's what it is for
Oh,
the
okay.
DMT elves. It's like, holy shit, there's a human being. All right. Time to do my DMT stuff. I don't think they're just sitting around there waiting. Maybe. I mean, maybe that's their job, but
See,
Here's
that was
something
one of
I
my
concluded a while
favorite.
I think they're
ago.
maybe doing other stuff too.
I concluded a while ago that when I take hallucinogenic drugs and I hear voices in my head, those voices are me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like
your id.
Jungian.
It's the id,
like
isn't it?
It's the
Remember what they
id,
call
Jungian
it?
dream
yeah.
analysis.
The
Yeah.
id.
Uh-huh.
It's all
The
you.
id. That's what it is.
My favorite question I ever got from a student was, Ms. Brown, what are the beings that you see when you're really high on psychedelics? And I was like, wow. I mean, we could go there, but we can't actually. So.
The beings. Okay. Yeah. This is not suitable for school.
This is
I
not
don't
what we're
appreciate
here
it.
Hell of a question,
Before
for.
we
That
start
kid's
wrapping
getting an
up,
A. He's going somewhere.
I had another student come up to me, put a little note right next to me. I looked down at it. It says, Miss Brown, I'm really high on acid. Can I please go? And I was like, yes. He just took off.
you
the
should
fuck,
leave
dude?
immediately.
You should probably go.
Before we get out of here, I got of course, the new era of New York City's upon us. Mom Donnie had a little bit of a speech. We got to keep up to date with Mom Donnie and his shenanigans. And
Good
so
God.
here we go right here. I got a little,
I was elected as a
something for y'all.
democratic socialist, and I will govern as a democratic socialist.
That should be enough to go to jail.
Yeah.
I will not abandon my principles for fear of being deemed radical. As the great senator from Vermont once said, what's radical is a system which gives so much to so few and denies so many people the basic necessities of life. We will strive each day to ensure that no New Yorker is priced out of any one of those basic necessities. And throughout it all, we will, in the words of Jason Terrence Phillips, better known as Jadakiss or Jay to the Moi, be outside. Because this is a government of New York, by New York, and for New York. Beginning today, we will govern expansively and audaciously. We may not always succeed, but never will we be accused of lacking the courage to try. To those who insist that the era of big government is over, hear me when I say this. No longer will City Hall hesitate to use its power to improve New Yorkers' lives. I was
There it is. There it is. Hey, at least he was honest. He's like, Bo, I mean, we're gonna try, but we probably ain't gonna make it. Just letting y'all know. I mean,
Also,
Points for honesty.
none of you
Points for
have-
honesty. He's like, listen, we're giving it a shot, but we want you guys to have some realistic expectations here.
lower expectations. And he
We're
also
gonna fuck-
didn't give a
we're gonna fuck this whole
bathroom
thing up.
to any of
Give you
these
that.
people. Thousands of people showed up and none of them had access to a bathroom. They couldn't leave easily and they couldn't get back in easily and they also couldn't pee anywhere. And I'm like, you're such a piece of shit, dude.
me and
Bro, it
Corey
sounds like being in a
talked
fish
about this.
festival.
They said it was too dangerous to put bathrooms in there to bring the
Oh.
porta potties in.
We couldn't help
That's
you.
what
So
they
we're
say.
Hey,
we're
leftists
here
don't
to
know how
make
to
your life
wipe
better
their
and
ass.
we want you to have everything you need, but you can't pee, okay? Get your shit together.
It's part of the strategy.
So-
Attention.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. New York City. Sorry. You voted for this.
Hey, look.
You,
Hey, look. There was no
you got
doubt
what
that
you-
they were going
you
to be
have- you get what you
outside,
voted
and
for.
and them niggas look cold outside too. It's like y'all couldn't have had this in the building. I mean, it's damn 5 degrees below zero out there, and everybody out there freezing. You had
Well,
all them
aren't all
old farts out there freezing to death.
They rent those people, don't they?
Don't for a second think that they give a flying fuck about the people.
Yeah.
Just get that thought right out of your head.
Like,
These
if you're
are-
paying attention, this
he
is perfect
said it from the
socialism.
beginning. I'm a democratic socialist.
Yep.
Yeah, you just come right out and say it. I said, damn, man. I mean, you're supposed to hide it, but you know what? Look how well spoken he is. Guys like that are well spoken, clean cut. Oh man, you know what I'm saying?
Dude,
people love him.
Quoting Jada Kip.
People-
I mean, he's cool.
Yes.
He's cool. He's just like you and
Yeah.
me, except that we've had jobs before in the past, and he hasn't. Besides that, he's just like us. Congratulations, though, on your first job as mayor of New York City. That's amazing. Congratulations. That's the greatest first job anyone's ever had. I mean, my first job I had when I was 15 years old. My dad would drop me off at the place and then come get me later. I mean, his first job is mayor of New York City. It's really fucking impressive. It's something to behold.
That's true.
Hey, well, of course, hey, he had his posse with him there, AOC and Bernie Sanders. He had the posse with him. Okay. AOC went up there and she tried to say a few things.
Two of the
Hers
biggest
wasn't as
hypocrites
interesting
in the
when she was
world. It's
talking.
going to be perfect. Bernie Sanders.
It wasn't as it. Yeah, but he looked like he might have died out there today. That day, like he was like,
Seriously.
I was like Bernie, Bo. I mean, y'all could bring a space heater. I mean, y'all ain't got no little things to warm your hands up and that. Come on, man.
real.
You ain't wear your thermals today, dog. Fucking freezing out there.
He'd just pee in his little diapers whenever he needed to warm up.
There you go. Oh, did everybody wear diapers out there?
Low
They
tech.
should have put that on their site. Make sure you wear adult diapers out here because there'll be no restrooms.
That could have done it.
There you go.
They're like,
I mean,
if
they're
it's
wearing
good
adult
enough for
diapers to the
people
Taylor Swift
camping out
concert.
at Times Square. It's good enough for these 10,000 retards who came out to applaud democratic socialists taking over their city and seizing the methods of production.
Pretty much a bunch of rich white women. That's what it was like liberal, rich white women. That's the
They're
ones
destroying
that
the
want them
world.
dying. So you got
They
you got that over there, and then you've got over on the other side of our of the United States, you got California trying to implement a 5% wealth tax on billionaires. And just to let you know, they put the 5% wealth tax, or they want to do the 5% wealth tax on billionaires, so they can eventually tax your wealth as well. That's it. That's the only reason why they're doing it. It makes it seem like, oh yeah, we're fucking the rich over. And it's like, no, they're coming to get you, dog.
You know what I learned this
they
week?
are the rich.
Yep.
I learned this week that there are some states that every year you have to pay your registration on your car like you do everywhere else. But on top of that, you pay a tax on your car based on the car's value, aside from your re-registration of your license plates.
Like
every
Washington
this here in
State.
North Carolina.
year.
Yeah, that's
Like
here in North
Washington
Carolina.
State. Yeah.
Are you fucking joking me?
No, it's fucking retarded. Tim Eyman, fuck you. That's who did it to Washington. He did all kinds of sneaky, stupid shit. Stupid bastard.
Yep.
This is fucked
Yep,
up.
that's the way it is
That's
in North
fucked
Carolina.
up. What, you're gonna tax my fucking magic cards next?
Yeah,
Fuck.
they're looking into
Or my
it.
Bitcoin that went up in value that I didn't sell? Like, what's the fuck? Where do you draw the line here? This is all bullshit, man. Fuck all
Wasn't
these
there
people.
something where they're like, we're going to start taxing? Or no, California was like, after 3 years, if you haven't touched your cryptocurrency, we're going to take it. Like, what the
I don't
fuck?
understand how that's
I
fucking
don't
legal
either.
at all.
So
That's gonna get thrown out eventually. That's just nonsense. What if someone was in a coma and they couldn't access it?
right.
And they
They're
wake
like,
up
oh
and
no,
their
we'll give
money's
it
gone.
back.
Suck my dick.
As soon as you tell us it's yours, we'll give it back. I'm like, then why would you take it at all? Like, what are you talking about?
No, thank you.
Well,
yeah, it's not yours to take,
California
you
is
fucking
in,
scumbags.
yeah, California's in such a budget deficit that it's just like, man, they're just trying to figure out new ways. It's like, look,
True.
everybody's, look, give us all your money, okay? Just give it to us, we'll give you a place to live and we'll send food to you. And then we'll try to see if we can figure out how to get shit back on track, which will still be in a deficit somehow. So you'll go to work. You won't get any money in return. We'll give you a place to stay and we'll send you food and we'll still be in a deficit somehow.
And we're going to give money to we're doing reparations. Everyone's going to get $5,000. I'm like, who is getting $5,000? How are you going to prove that these people are the descendants of slaves in California who never had slaves? And what the fuck is actually happening?
Hey, look, man, slavery ran rapid in California. Okay, I mean, if you didn't know, black people have been taken advantage of California. Now it's time for them to get their just due.
They're like, our only concern is, well, we don't have money to pay for it, but we want to give you this money, so we're going to figure it out. Like, you guys are crazy.
You can't. There ain't nothing to figure out. You broke. Niggas is broke. Like I've tried to reiterate this. Like I see people, they going up in price, almost subscription this, subscription that. I'm like, man, niggas are broke, man. They ain't got nothing else to give you. Like you just keep, and they're like, oh, we get a credit card. Boo. They cycling from credit card to credit card. There is no money. There is none. You've already taken it all. As Jerome Powell said, we've got the K-shaped economy. Appreciate it, nigga. You helped out with that. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming up there and saying that, but you know, you kind of helped out with that. So I mean, what we talking about? Folks ain't got no more money.
We're talking about KKK-shaped economy, I think.
Exactly. Yeah, 3 Ks. So it's like every time they sit there, it's like, oh man, well maybe we need to figure out. Oh man, maybe I got to go up on my price. Well, maybe we could tax. I was like, they ain't got nothing else to give you, dog. Like they're out of money. And like, and so like your AI company, so like how you notice how your AI companies and the chip company, they just keep cycling money in between each other. It's because ain't nobody got no fucking money. There is no money. There is none. I mean, so it's just like, so we keep cycling fake numbers back and forth to each other to make it seem like we're doing something, but there is no money. AI's not making any money at all.
Somebody was like, "What?
Like
what percentage?"
Sam Altman got right up there.
Sorry.
You go ahead.
Oh, no, you.
Yeah, Sam Altman got right up there on the microphone and said, I don't know how we going to make money. He got right up there and said it.
He's like the main
guy. I don't know how
we're
going to make money doing this. Meanwhile, they're building all these damn data centers and fucking drink all the water and use up all the energy. And what they going to do? Charge people more on the electricity bill. They ain't got no more money, man. They out. They tapped out, dog. It's like, what are you doing? It's like, man, this is how you wake up one day and all of a sudden folks are knocking at your door and dragging you outside and cutting your head off. Yeah. That's how this shit happens. Oh my God, man. I could be the greatest dictator ever because I would make sure you had everything you needed.
Simple.
You have all your food. You'd be able to have your family. You'd be able to have your houses. If you
Is it me or is it frozen?
It's frozen.
Oh no.
It's frozen.
He's frozen.
Okay, well I'm gonna say what I was gonna say then.
Go ahead.
Somebody asked, what, like, given all the fraud in Minnesota and all of this, what is the percentage of the economy that's fraud? And I was like, well, if you want to also get down to it, right? Like we have fiat currency, we have quantitative easing, we have credit in general, and then we have like the mismanagement, the intentional, suppression of various things like gold and silver. And if you want to say like how much of the economy is fraud, I'm going to say like 97%, right? Like, just guessing.
I don't know what country it was, but recently I saw on the news, like there was some country that passed a vote because their inflation was out of control. So they just dropped a zero. Like everything in the society just dropped a zero. It was like,
oh my God.
I was like, can you do that? Can you do that? Are we close to that? Can we just drop it? Can I pay $70 a month for rent? I mean, like, what's up?
Yes.
So you got to do it. I mean, it's just like it's got to come to a head eventually where it's just like, what was it? Somebody was like, well, nobody paid their taxes. And they were like, well, that's cool. The government would immediately figure out some other financial system and then ban cash and ban the US dollar. They'd be like, okay, well, we got this new financial system now, and that other money you got's not real anymore. We know it wasn't real to begin with.
That's true.
This is the real money now. Okay, that stuff you got, dog, you can't even burn it. You can't even afford to burn the money. All right. That's how deep it would be. That's how deep it would be. We went over. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. We appreciate everybody for being with us on day 0, day 218. Happy New Year to everybody. 2026. Hopefully it'll be better to you than 2025, or maybe it'll be the same, which will still be good. Let's just hope it's not worse. So we're gonna go with the round table. We're gonna see if anybody's got anything new for us. We'll start with Charlie. What you got?
I've got an interview out today on macroaggressions with Benoit. He's a Chicago tattoo parlor owner, a friend of mine who I met years ago. And he's got great Chicago crime stories. He's been sending me good links on Chicago on their criminality for years. And because he's a tattoo artist who also does great charity work, Ink Relief. .com, I think, or inkrelief.org, where he takes tattoos off of people who have like face tattoos and gang members and stuff like that. So he gets a lot of people in his chair. They talk about some of the stuff that they've been through, and so he hears about it on the from the streets, so to speak. But he's also really into the history of Chicago politics in general. He's super knowledgeable, just a good dude. So I put him in touch with Sam Tripoli, and when Sam went through Chicago to do a show, he got tattooed over at Ben's parlor. So anyway, so that's who's on macroaggressions. It's an interesting interview if people want to go check it out.
Cool. Appreciate that. Lindsay, go ahead and shoot.
I just published my 2025 tarot review. So at the beginning of each year, I do a yearly tarot reading ahead. And so I looked at like what card was drawn, what was my prediction, and what actually happened, and high accuracy rating as always. And then if you want to check out the 2026 tarot reading, it's going to be tomorrow, Monday night on the show, live or on the podcast. Either way, however you like to do it is going to be there. So that's going to be fun to do another look ahead. And all of that is also available at roguesoul.org, where you can also do one-on-one sessions with me, get my books and all of that. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram and the places. Happy 2026.
The places. Make sure you're there. CoryHughes.org, bloodedhistory.substack.com, Wonderful History JFK book, Lee Harvey Oswald in Black and White, Volume 2 on the way in a little over a month. That's what we're expecting. And we're also expecting a second edition of A Warning from History, correct, Cory?
Yes.
Later this year, potentially?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So there we go.
Yes.
Be on the lookout for that stuff. Yes. We like it. Of course, me, xq420.com. This Tuesday, I will be doing a Showtime with the Cube, recapping Bugonia, the conspiracy theory movie of the decade. Maybe. I mean, it incorporates every single conspiracy theory almost into one movie. So there we go. Yeah, it's crazy as far as with extraterrestrial beings. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Of course, Beyond the Cubes, Thursday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate everybody for being with us. Catch us next week for day 219. Peace out.